from Stage Fright to Spotlight, our comprehensive public speaking segment designed to help you master this crucial skill. Whether you're speaking to a large audience or just in front of a small group, like I just did in the last segment, this segment of the show will give you the tools that you need to shed the stage fright and step confidently into the spotlight. This segment of the show will also have guest appearances from some of my fellow Toastmasters. And if you don't know what Toastmasters is, I'm going to tell you right now. Toastmasters International is a nonprofit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. I belong to the Spirited Speakers Club out of Middleborough, Massachusetts. We currently meet virtually, about to change here shortly though. We meet virtually right now on the second and fourth Wednesdays of every month. Stay tuned because at the end of this segment, I'll show you how you can visit my next virtual Toastmaster meeting coming up here soon. On today's From Stage Fright to Spotlight, I have a guest. Today's guest is a fellow Toastmaster, and he's going to explain what a Toastmaster's evaluation is. And then he's going to actually evaluate the presentation that I just gave. And then, well, let's just bring out Sean DaSilva. Let me bring him out from backstage here. All right, and let me fix this here. Oh, where is it? I got all these different... Oh my God, where'd you go, Sean? I think I got rid of that one. I need to bring that one back. You know what? I'm going to do it live. Give me a second.
I am still here.
Yeah, I'm going to do this live. Let me add this here. All right, let's see what this does. Oh, I kind of swap this around like that.
Hey, it works.
Yeah, that works. All right. So, Sean, welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be back.
So, Sean is actually in my Toastmaster group, Spirited Speakers out of Middleborough. But, Sean, you're also a member of more than one group. You want to, just in case there's some Toastmasters watching or watching the replay, why don't you let them know where you're at?
Yeah, I'm a member of also the Fall River Innovators in Fall River, Massachusetts. We meet at the One South Coast Chamber. We're a hybrid club, so whether you want to meet in person or you like the online experience, or maybe you want to mix it up, the Fall River Club has both. And then I'm also a member of the Saturday Brunch Bunch. We meet on Saturday mornings. That's the brunch from 9 to 11. We are an online club, so no travel involved there, but a great group. Both clubs have very experienced members, also like inspirited speakers. So you can learn a lot from any of the clubs. Every club has something different to offer. And that's why I'm being a part of the Toastmasters community. I love being part of multiple clubs because I have friends in all the clubs.
Awesome, Sean. Thank you for that. So, Sean, why don't you, for the non-Toastmasters, and maybe some Toastmasters alike, because you are an excellent evaluator, why don't you go ahead and explain to the audience, what is a Toastmaster evaluation exactly?
Yeah, so Toastmasters has, and in different clubs, they call them different names. The first club that I ever belonged to, we used to just summarize it as tell them something positive, tell them how they can improve, and then wrap it up with more positive. I've evolved my evaluations. I actually have a formula where I tell the speakers their strengths. So I will usually, an evaluation in Toastmasters is like 2 to 3 minutes. So I'll tell them 2 strengths, one area that they can improve on, kind of summarize it, and then leave them with a sincere conclusion, something that I really liked in the speech. So that's my formula, but it's evolved throughout the years. I've been in Toastmasters for 17 years, probably evaluated over 100 speeches. So it takes a lot of practice. It definitely, to evaluate a speaker, you have to listen, paying attention, not just to what they're saying, but looking at them and watching their movements, their eye contact. You're picking up on all those things. you're also looking for what feedback you can give them to grow as a speaker. So that's sort of just an idea of what we do when we evaluate our fellow Toastmasters.
No, that was an awesome definition of what a Toastmaster evaluation is. And of course, what it does is it really helps out. It's helped me out quite a bit. I've went to my Toastmaster group and did a practice run, if you will, and got evaluated. Then I was able to take the evaluation and correct or make better what I did and gave it again. And that's what the feedback is designed for, so that people can help you get better at speaking. Essentially,
Right.
you get to see what they see through their eyes, because of course when we speak, we can't really tell a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know, and,
I like to say that evaluations at the end, the goal should be the speaker should walk away, if they weren't feeling this way already, feeling more confident about how they delivered. So building people's confidence is number one. Helping them to see what they already do well, because a lot of times if you don't point out the things that people do well, they might not think that's something that they're doing, and they might try to change it. So telling what they do right, and then also giving them something to grow on. So what's the next step? What's the next step that I need to take? I can go home, start practicing on for my next presentation.
yeah, it's a powerful tool, very powerful tool, and to help you get better in speaking, and to point out areas of improvement, and not only areas of improvement, as you'll see tonight too, but areas where you do well too. And I hope there's, like I said, Sean is going to evaluate what you just saw, my live presentation, if you will, in front of people that I haven't done in quite a while. So do you have a preface for this at all, Sean, or you just want to take it away?
I'm going to just jump into this and just say that, again, normally at a meeting, this would be 2 to 3 minutes. I might not stick to that time because there was so much. That was a long presentation, and there's so many good things so I've probably got about 3 strengths that I saw, and I would like to dive into each one of those. And then a couple of suggestions for your next time you present. So first, right off the bat, I want to say that, Jason, you had excellent stage presence. That was for an in-person, which, again, we've talked about you don't do very often, but that you had great stage presence. You looked comfortable up there. You were clear. Your movement was very fluid from the podium to the center stage, and making eye contact and really, owning your space. You had a very clear, understandable message that you wanted to deliver. I really liked that you were really yourself. You stayed to your brand, and talking about the real estate, the public speaking, the networking. You were very genuine. So that was like something that I found was a real strength. I really also I think your second strength was you're connecting with the audience. You're asking them questions. You're shouting out people's names like John's here, and if you have any residential real estate, connect with Lou. So you knew your audience. You were even rephrasing things, like after people would answer your questions, you'd come back and you'd rephrase them. So that shows that you were really paying attention. I love that. Even when you weren't talking and you were just standing there, you could see you were paying attention. You were listening. Some speakers, when other people are talking, they're thinking about the next thing that is going to be on their presentation. You never zoned out. You were always in the moment with your audience, and then you would move on to your next thing once they were done. So that was great. And the third strength that I saw is you're very funny, and you're entertaining. You had people laughing. You really, even at the end when you were talking about, we're done. We're almost done. But not quite yet. I know that was something that you were just it looked like maybe you were just kind of filling in because you didn't realize you were quite at the end there. But it was funny, and it still kept your audience engaged. You had excellent humor and entertainment throughout the entire presentation. So those were your big strengths. Those were the things that I thought made this presentation really fantastic. What could you work on for the next time? How could you improve this? So I know you have your core 4 of networking, and I know you love that. I kind of looked at it as just as a suggestion, maybe a way to kind of mix it up, is you need something that is a little bit more memorable or a little bit easier to remember. You had your audience shouting out, but I really like the B statements. And I took your core 4 and I put it into 4 B statements. Be prepared, be yourself, be present, and be persistent. And each one ties into the same core 4 that you had, but they all kind of linked together. And I thought that as a suggestion could be something that you could do to just kind of make it more easily for your audience to remember.
I like that.
The other suggestion, if you have a presentation like this, and I just learned this at a conference I just attended this past weekend from our keynote speaker, and that is don't end with a Q&A. You can have a Q&A. You can ask your audience, do you have any questions? But you should be the one that has the last word. So you do your Q&A. After the Q&A, that's when you would do your summary, leave them with your final, summary, what this whole presentation was about and what they should take out of it and what that call for action is, what they should do next. So you can do that in your final wrap-up statement, but always end with that statement. Don't end on the Q&A. But other than that, you did, again, an excellent job. I really, again, found this very entertaining, very educational. I learned some things about networking that I hadn't considered in the past. So I think that you did an excellent job, and love to see more presentations like this from you in the future.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean. And that's an awesome evaluation. Like I said, Sean's an awesome evaluator, and there you go. There it is. I knew I shouldn't have winged the ending of that. I wanted to see what would happen.
Yeah, Jason messaged me and said I kind of winged the end there, and it was like, you can tell, but still, you stay to yourself. I think your audience probably, I wouldn't have noticed had you not told me, hey, Sean, I sort of bombed the end. And I was like, hey, you did it, but just, you could tell that it wasn't what you were prepared to do. But you still handled it well. I think your audience wouldn't have noticed it. And I think that's fine. Sometimes we don't have to be. Another thing I learned at the conference this weekend is that you don't have to be perfect. That sometimes in your most genuine moments and just being yourself, that's the best kind of speeches and really where you connect with your audience and they see the real you.
No, I agree. That's excellent advice. Now I know to wrap up. And be the last word to wrap up, and don't end in a Q&A. No, I appreciate that. And I don't know how that happened. It kind of naturally went into a Q&A, probably because I didn't ask if anyone had any questions, and I kind of, winged it, if you will, at the end. So, no, that's great advice.
It's a lesson learned. You can think about that for the next time you present a class like that. Either it's like, yeah, I want a Q&A, but I don't want it to be the very end. I want to plan, this is when I'm going to have the Q&A. And then move on to my final wrap-up statement.
Exactly. No, excellent advice. So, I mean, I feel better about it now. Yeah, no, excellent. I'm going to take your advice, especially what you said about the core 4 and the B statements. I'm going to check that out and see what I could work with on that. I do like that. I like the whole being more memorable like that. I agree with you. Let's see what happens. But the other thing I wanted to mention while I have you, Sean, is I wanted to invite everyone to our next Toastmaster meeting. So, if you are thinking of taking the next step, meaning my and Sean's next virtual Toastmaster meeting is coming up. The next meeting will be on this Wednesday, May 14th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to experience a virtual meeting for yourself and see what it's all about, comment Spirited under this video and I'll share the link with you. That's all you have to do. Comment Spirited. I'll share the meeting link with you. And then when you log into the meeting, on Wednesday, don't be scared. Sean doesn't bite. Feel free to sit back and no, well, unless you ask, right? No. But feel free to sit back and observe from the sidelines. You don't have to participate. We'll make sure you feel welcome. And again, participation is optional, but no pressure. Just relax and enjoy the experience. That's all. I hope to see you there.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean? You hope to see them there too?
Absolutely. I would love to see them. And again, Toastmasters is such a wonderful organization. I think I've mentioned this before. We're great. We're an educational organization, so we're there to help people in self-improvement. But there's a real community involved. And because we learn from each other and we teach each other. So come for the education, stay for the community. And again, to the networking, there's also great networking opportunities as well.
Yes, there is. And I just wanted to say that even though I winged the end of that, I didn't die. Did you see? I was fine. I didn't like poof and turn into something. It was good. It was okay.
Public speaking won't kill you.
No.
So most people will say, I'd rather die. No, public speaking will not kill you. You can make it. You can do it. It just takes practice. It just takes, that confidence to know that you can do it. And I think that's part of what Toastmasters also helps people with.
Exactly. So on Wednesday, I expect you to show up at the meeting. Comment Spirit into this video, and I'm sending you the link, and I expect you to be there and check it out.
I'll be there.
All right, Sean, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on this evening and giving that wonderful evaluation and showing everyone how it's done.
Anytime, Jason. I told you, just all you have to do is ask, and you're happy to help with any segment you need.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you. And I will see you Wednesday.
Talk to you on Wednesday.
All right.